That workout sucked my rain boots. I don't even own rain boots, but if I did... What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Sarah, and I hope each and every one of you is having a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining me for yet another video. If you are new to the channel, thanks for coming on board. And if you've been here for a while, well, thanks for coming back, because I certainly understand that is not a given, because I'm a little bit nuts. But that's okay, right? I mean, you like it. A little bit? Tiny bit? Maybe just like watching people torture themselves on hate machines. Hit the like button? Shameless plug? At any rate, thanks for coming on board, and you are joining me for the 7th installment of the Zwift Academy Road Workout Series, where I take on VO2 Development. Now, without even having completed this workout yet, I can tell you unequivocally that this is going to be the most difficult workout in the entire series. It is the longest at 1 hour and 9 minutes. It also has the highest number of working minutes within the workout. You're going to be working, as the name would indicate, mostly at VO2 max, in fact at 120% of your FTP, which is not an easy feat, by the way. I will go through the intervals at the end of the workout so I can put them into better context for you, as I have for the past 6 videos. But if you are new to Zwift Academy, new to this channel or series, or you're confused as to what the hell I'm talking about, hit this link up here. It'll take you to the Zwift Academy Road Getting Started page. It will tell you a lot about what the workout series is going to entail, what you need to do, how to graduate from the academy, and so on and so forth. But coming out of this workout today, I will have 1 workout and 1 group ride or race remaining as I enter the Zwift Academy Try in a couple of days on October 29th, which isn't that much to carry over, and it's certainly achievable to have both of these academies completed within the time allotted. I hope that you will join me for the Zwift Academy Try. I'm kind of looking forward to a little bit more variation in the workouts, while the Zwift Academy Road has focused primarily on threshold and above level efforts with a lot of concentration on VO2 max development, which is certainly important when it comes to road racing. As many of us enter our off season, the Try Academy will actually help to hit on all of your different power zones from endurance all the way up to VO2 max. So it's going to populate another 5 workouts that you might be able to use to work other systems. On the note of the off season, I have been using this academy in the very rainy month of October, unfortunately for us, to do a little bit of volume detraining, if you will. You need a little bit of detraining or off season before you go right back into high volume training, which many of us do for our long, slow base miles. And to avoid any kind of burnout, I've used this academy to focus on high intensity interval training with a lower volume to keep my fitness and form at a workable level while bringing my freshness up. So I'm looking forward to entering the Try series and continuing to build my volume as we enter this really long winter that we have in Western New York, and probably for many of you in the Northern Hemisphere in general. And I will be ready to go into that season without worrying about burnout or excess fatigue. But without any further ado, I'm going to jump on the bike and get this workout done, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions if I survive to the end of this, because it is not going to be easy. All right, I'll see you on the other side. That workout sucked my rain boots. I don't even own rain boots, but if I did, that workout, you know what, that's about to sound abundantly inappropriate, so suffice it to say it was a difficult workout. The most difficult workout. As I mentioned, I was right. Thank you very much. Not thank you very much. That really did suck. But that is the most difficult workout. Looking ahead at the 8th and final workout, there's no way that that one is going to supersede this one in terms of training stress and load. Any way you want to slice it, this workout is definitely a bear. It's at least a factor of 10 more difficult than the workouts that we have done to date. come to play when you do this workout. Make sure you are rested, you are hydrated, you are fueled. Give yourself every advantage humanly possible for it, because this workout is that difficult. I don't want to understate it. Even with every advantage, there's a good potential that you may fail in this workout and may not, at least not hit 100%, maybe fail altogether. So I want you to come in ready for it. If you are sick, if you are injured, if you are stressed out, if you were just not feeling it today, come back to fight another day. Or even in this case, skip this workout, go to number 8 and come back to it. That is how difficult this workout is. And I don't want you to get discouraged with yourself or with the program, because this workout is, again, an order of magnitude more difficult than what we have seen in the last 6. So I'm going to go through the intervals. I'm going to talk about them in context. Hopefully I can give you some tips that you can use to best prepare for each of these intervals and these changes, so that you can hit the best adherence possible in terms of the power prescription in this workout. If you can hit 85% or better, you're doing very well on this workout. So just come in prepared for that, and hopefully I'll be able to help you to do that. So we're going to start with the warm-up. You're going to get about 20 minutes of total warm-up, and you're going to start with 10 minutes of that ascending kind of loosening up of the muscles, starting at 40% of your FTP and working up to 70% of the FTP. So you're going to be very comfortably within your zone 2, your endurance zone. Your heart rate shouldn't be that high. Your spinning should be pretty easy, just getting the blood flowing, getting prepared for work. Next, you're going to settle into 2 minutes at 55% of your FTP. Pretty standard stuff. Then you're going to get your priming set. That is going to be a 3-minute ramp up. It's going to start you at 80% of your FTP, and it's going to peak at 105% of your FTP. Not overly difficult, just breaking out any tension or any hesitation in the legs, getting you primed and ready for the working sets. Then you're going to get 3 minutes of recovery at 55% of your FTP. Then you're going to move into the meat and potatoes of this workout. And the overall structure is 3 by 8 minutes, kind of like micro burst sets, if you will. So I'll break them down more in context so that you can kind of understand what these are in case you've never done intervals like this before. So your first 8-minute block is going to be broken into smaller 1-minute intervals. And those 1-minute intervals are going to be broken down even further into on and off sets. So your first set of 8 minutes is going to be a 1-to-2 ratio. 1 being your working set and 2 being your rest. So you're going to get twice as much rest as you do work in the sets. So you're going to do 20 seconds of 120% of your FTP, and then you're going to get 40 seconds of rest. And that rest is going to be at 75% of your FTP. So you're going to be at your very high end of your zone 2, tickling on your zone 3. So you're still actively working. This isn't really recovery at this point. You're not getting full recovery or an easy spin. You're still somewhat working. So be prepared for that. It's not going to be extremely easy spinning to be completely ready for the next set. So you're going to do that 8 times. 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off, repeat, 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off. You're going to do that 8 times, and that's going to be your total of 8 minutes. Then you're going to get 6 minutes of full recovery at 50% of your FTP. Spin out all the lactate, get your heart rate, your breathing back under control. You should have enough time to fully recover and be ready for the next set. And putting that first set into real context, it shouldn't be that difficult. If you are reasonably fit, 20 seconds on and 40 seconds off is not that difficult for most people. You're going to feel it. Your heart rate's going to start to sneak up there into that zone 3, maybe high zone 3 rate. If you're not quite that fit, it might get a little bit higher, but you shouldn't fail in this first set. It's pretty achievable for most people. After that 6 minutes rest, you're going to go into your second 8-minute set. This time it's going to be a 1-to-1 ratio of working set to rest. So you're going to have 30 seconds on, again at that 120% of your FTP, and 30 seconds off at 75% of your FTP. Repeating that 8 times. That 30 seconds is going to feel short. You added an extra 10 seconds of work, and you've taken 10 seconds of rest away. You're going to feel like you could really use that extra 10 seconds of rest, but you can get ready to get back on top of the gear. This is more challenging. Your breathing is going to become more labored. Your heart rate is going to continue to drift upwards. But honestly, this is still pretty achievable. But you are starting to tire out the system. You're going to start to feel fatigued. You're going to get another 6 minutes of full rest at 50% of your FTP. But you're going to start to be a little bit worried about this last 8 minutes. This is going to be a 2-to-1 ratio of working set to rest. You're not going to get much rest at all in this interval. You are going to have 40 seconds on, again, 120% of your FTP, and you are only going to get 20 seconds off in these intervals. 20 seconds is going to feel like nothing, especially as you move later and later into the 8 sets. The best recommendation I have for you is do everything you can to stay on top of the cadence. So start with a high cadence, even higher than you think. Try to go over 100 RPM. Keep that tension out of your legs because the cadence is going to start to bog down as you get further further and further into this 8-minute set. What I did for these sets is after the 40 seconds, I let my legs slow down just briefly for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then immediately started spinning them back up and gaining that momentum. And no sooner was I able to get back into the cadence that I desired, that 20 seconds were over, and I got back into the 40 seconds of work. Unfortunately for me, I had a bit of an equipment malfunction on the second to last set, where the erg mode just completely went overboard and kicked me into like 400 watts for some reason during my rest set. I had to jump off the bike, plug it or unplug the trainer and plug it back in, so I got an extra maybe 20 seconds of rest for one of those intervals. But you know, it didn't let my heart rate really slow down that much, didn't really take much tension out of my leg, but that was definitely difficult. Towards the end, my RPM was getting pretty damn low. It was 80 RPM, which is very low for me, and starting to get to the point where I needed to stand for that very last interval. You're going to barely eke this out, and if you're struggling through it, that's completely normal. You've already built up a ton of fatigue from those first 2 sets, even though they were much more achievable. After you do that 8 minutes of absolute hell, you're going to move into a 6-minute recovery valley, again at 50% of your FTP. And then, this is where whoever wrote this workout is a bit of a dick. After that 6 minutes of recovery, you are going to have a 4-minute ramp up. This is just plain mean. This is just an awful, awful interval. You are probably going to be terrified of it, but do everything you can to get through it, prepare for it, get control of your breathing over that 6 minutes. It's going to be a 4-minute ramp up, starting at 105% of your FTP and working up to 120% of your FTP. 4 minutes after you've already gone through all of these intervals is going to feel like absolute hell. It's just abusive. It's mean, it's torturous, it's awful. But if you can stay on top of it, push yourself, don't look at the clock, reach for every pedal stroke and push as hard as you can, get as far as you can. If you have to get sloppy, if you have to stand up, if you're all over the bike, even if your cadence drops down to 60 RPM, do everything you can to push for that entire 4 minutes, because if you can get through that 4 minutes, you're going to come out with such a sense of accomplishment. I can't even explain it to you, because this, again, is a tough workout. You're going to get a very high calorie burn in this workout. You're going to get a very high training stress score out of this workout for such a small period of time. You're working for less than an hour and 10 minutes, and you're going to get more burn out of this workout than you will for several hours at endurance. Just be prepared for that. You're going to be extremely proud of yourself when you're done, even if you miss out on the power by just a little bit, even if you've got to turn that power bias down by a couple of percentage points. Still try to get through the entire workout, because it is totally worth it. After that 4 minutes, you're going to get a 5-minute cool down. It's going to start you at like 55% of your FTP, and it's going to work you way down, probably around 40 or 50% of your FTP. It's definitely not going to do what they did in the sprint workout, where it started you somewhere around like 70% of your FTP. It's not going to be super easy spinning, but it's going to be easy enough that you can get back in control. It is going to feel pretty tough. Even the cool down is going to feel challenging after you've got all that fatigue built up in your legs. This workout of the 8 is probably the one that most closely approximates real world riding. It's going to approximate being able to spike that power and then being able to dip into a working set. In fact, this is very similar to what you might get in something like a breakaway if you're a road racer, where you're taking pulls and you're going to take those pulls at VO2 max, and then you're going to settle in for a very quick recovery and then come back to the front and do your pull. Now, as you get further into the workout, that third 8 minutes is not going to be as accurate, but it's going to prepare your ability to use that oxygen more effectively and recover more quickly as you come back to this workout over and over again. I can't recommend coming into this fueled enough. Sugar, sugar, sugar. This is not a fat-burning workout by any stretch of the imagination. You are not going to be fat adapted by coming into this workout fasted, so I would highly recommend against it. Come into it fueled. Hydration is definitely important. If you're a heavy sweater, you're probably going to really suffer in this workout. Make sure you've got your fans on you. Make sure you've got water on board. Come in hydrated beforehand. Make sure that you're completely comfortable. Go to the bathroom beforehand. Don't have any type of nuisance or nagging feeling in your body when you come into this workout. I want you to be prepared for it. If you're the type of person that does workouts in the morning, this is definitely going to set the tone for your day. You're going to come out of this workout feeling drained, but you're also going to come out feeling energized, because you've just put all of these hormones coursing through your system. You're going to feel like you're King Kong on cocaine after you're done with this workout. So if it is something that you do in the morning, more power to you, because you're gonna go to work and you're gonna be on fire. I'll touch on erg mode real quick. I know I always talk about erg mode a lot in these workouts. You certainly could turn it off for these, considering how short the intervals are, if you're confident in your ability to moderate power. The argument that I would make for erg mode is that as you progress through this workout, you're going to start to fatigue mentally as well, and being able to concentrate and adjust that power on your own might become a little bit more difficult. Even if you're in a race or a group ride, you are not staring at your power meter and controlling that power. You are basically judging your effort basically by feel and by what's going on around you. So if you think you might have a difficulty with that, you may want to keep erg mode on. And then the tip that I would give you in that regard is every time you are moving into the on interval, start to rev up that cadence about 5 seconds before, and about a second or two before you hit the arch, start to add power, and then you can basically spend 2 to 3 seconds leveling off, and you will do the intervals as prescribed. But that's about all I have for you guys. This is a pretty straightforward workout. I cannot stress enough how difficult this workout is and how important it would be to come in fresh and with every advantage that you have available to you. I hope that putting these intervals from that one-dimensional graph a little bit more into context will help you to attack each of those intervals strong and give you the best possible opportunity to get 100% of your marks. But if you don't hit that 100%, as long as you make it through the workout and do the best that you can, you should be absolutely proud of yourself, and come back again and try it. If you didn't make it the first time, you have plenty of time. That workout will stay there in perpetuity that you can come back to, and you can come back to it over and over again and get better at it each time. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you found this video helpful. Hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. It really does help the channel and this video quite a bit. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comments, questions, concerns down below. I will engage with you guys down there. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and I will certainly catch you in the next one. See ya.